And the point I was trying to get to before I choked up on the last one, which made me had to read it over, was the point about their form. Where's it at? While such talks belittle to negative version of democracy. Not that one. This one here. The first line. It says, "It is true that China has now massively embraced a warped version of free enterprise." And where's the next statement I want to? But it's their warped sense of their, here it goes, version of democracy. Yeah, and it will craftily introduce this version of democracy. So they're putting out the Chinese version of what they're saying democracy is out there, when the United States is saying they're putting out their version of democracy, because the United States' version of democracy is not the version that is intended for the United States. It is a version. It's stagnated. As a matter of fact, democracy in the United States is going backwards at a high rate of speed. We have yet to have established a democracy here. We have established a more perfect union, not the perfect union. We did not establish a final placement of our ideology of democracy, but a starting point. And we're barely past the starting gates. We have to take that next step, the step that I call the Magna Carta for the poor man. You know, we need a Magna Carta. You remember my Jerome Aroma? the Jerome Decree, you know, the conference of free people, allowing free people to be free. We are yet free. We are yet liberated people. And at the rate we're allowing them to subvert the minds of our people, to where we have this whatever crop of folks we've got out there now that are so uninformed, uncaring, or been just have our franchise taken away from us. Where right off the bat, they have eliminated 20% of the population. 20% of y'all, they don't care about one way or the other, whether you vote, whatever. They don't care if you starve. If they get all the way back into the Republicans, they wouldn't care if you starved out there. And you Republicans will sit there and say, no, not us, no, not us, no, not us. You want to hit Social Security, you want to hit this, you want to play games. When the market crashed, when everything fell apart, did you help that guy that lost his home? You threw him to the wolves. You threw him out the door. God, been paying on this house his whole daggone life. You know, company fell down, everything went down. You threw him out the street. You know what I mean? You wouldn't refinance him, but you look up and they were, like I said, when George Bush left office, as a gift to him, he threw $1 trillion behind his back. Y'all pick up the scraps. I'm gone. Okay. No, I don't think very highly of George Bush. I don't think very highly of the Republican Party, not at the rate of what they're doing. How can you? And then during the depths of a recession that was basically a depression, rather than doing any little bit of thing to help spur the economy on, to help the people down at the bottom, they say no to everything that came through there. They didn't even want to discuss it. They didn't even want to come to the floor for debate. They didn't want to come out there and talk about the conversation. They didn't want to talk in front of the American people about the conversation, had their argument and took the vote, and then said he voted for that. That's the reason it's like that. But I'm going to help this thing move because that's what democracy is supposed to be about. We make a decision, and then once we've made the decision, we all try to make the decision work. For every period of time it needs to work, but we make decisions, and then we try to figure out how to keep the decision from being made. the decision that was made from letting the decision work. Poor guy been up here. I don't know how many, I bet you, and I don't know if it is true or not, and maybe it's not, but there's things that from the first time Obama was elected that people, you know, he's supposed to pick out, he appoints people to do things, and they have to be confirmed by the Senate or the House of Representatives, whoever does the confirming. You know, they hold them up in there. So that these people, so the committee, you know, they block legislation from being implemented. Not only do they not like for it to be voted for, then once they can't win by the vote, then they try to keep it from being implemented, from being funded. So they're steadily blocking progression. Progression is progression, whether it's good progression or bad progression, we have to progress. For 8 years, they have stopped progression. Like I said, there's a whole lot of it tangled up inside of us. Let's have a flush. Throw them all out. Let's throw the government out.